She's made a number of videos referring to a creator, and we all know who she's referring to when she says that. So she really should just come out and say my name, you know, because unless she thinks people are stupid, I know who she's talking about, and I know who she's referring to. So I was out yesterday afternoon, and when I got home, I was looking at my messages, and as you can imagine, my phone and Discord was blown up because Tiff went into Sean's live in a box, which, I mean, let's face it, we pegged that a while ago too. I mean, you know, everything that has happened with Tiff, we all kind of saw it coming. We all knew the next pathway, you know, she was going to take. So before I play the live when she was in Shauns yesterday, because I haven't heard it yet, but from what I understand, she lied quite a bit. And I've gotten the gist of some of the stuff she said, and I actually have some proof to show to prove that she was lying about a lot of stuff. So, quick, for those of you that don't know, you know, about how I got to know Texas Tip. When I was covering Jen, I believe she reached out to me, or she came into my live one time and she told me her story about Jen and all that, how she had been a mod for Jen and she supported Jen, and, you know, the story out there that she sent her entire check from, I can't remember if she said it was from disability or from the Navy, to Jen one time. And so that was almost 2 years ago. And from that point until the beginning of December, she was in my lives all the time. And as many of you know, she came into boxes a lot. Now, she was one who, you know, didn't like Jen and was calling her out. And she was one that didn't like Sean and was calling him out. Now, as I said, you know, all was fine up until December when I did that live regarding T's husband. And she took offense to that. And she wrote me an email, a very long email, and, you know, pretty much said that, you know, your platform shouldn't have had that, and gave me some other advice. And, you know, I've come on here numerous times, and I think I even said she was right one time. You know, I shouldn't have done that. And, you know, one of the things she said is that, wow, what else did she say? She said that, you know, it shouldn't be discussed anymore because, you know, to take the victim into consideration and all that. And I agreed. And I haven't, you know, done anything else with that, you know. So, after that live, she still texted me a couple times. And as you can imagine, it really didn't have much to do about anything on TikTok. You know, it was stuff about her. Yeah, I know, Sue. You know, the messages that she sent, were kind of like, you know, what she you know, did when she came in boxes and all that. And, you know, at that point, I was kind of like, you know, not, I was happy regarding, you know, what she said about my platform, and that didn't belong on that, because I agreed with her. But, you know, I was kind of like, you know, the tone of the email was not something that I was real happy with. Okay, but it's fine. I mean, you know, she got her point across, and as I said, I agreed with it. So after the messages back and forth, or I should say forth, because I never sent anything really back to her, all of a sudden she started making videos about a creator and how she walked away from the drama and this and that. And I'm kind of sitting here thinking, she walked away from the drama. She was knee deep. She was knee deep in the drama the whole time. So I don't know how, you know, all of a sudden she has had this epiphany and thinks it's okay that, you know, if she doesn't condone it anymore, then everybody else is wrong and they need to be called out for it. But that's what she wanted to do. And, you know, I sat back when she made the videos, and I didn't say anything in lives and all that. And, you know, pretty much after I heard about what she discussed yesterday, with Shaun, you know, I was like, yeah, you would leave a live when she got in the box. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me and said similar things, you know, that they were kind of tired of her coming in boxes. Yeah, Liv, you know why? Because I don't like to talk about, you know, interpersonal relationships that I have with people, and when things come to an end, just because it's not. I don't think it should be put on TikTok. You know, I always talk about keeping things like that. Everything doesn't need to be on here, you know. So, you know, after seeing her videos and then what I heard about yesterday, I wanted to replay this. Some of the things that some of the comments that I've gotten from people is regarding the trauma dumping, which everybody has said that that's what she did. And I agree with that. You know, I'd be talking about something in a live, and she would come up and we would start talking about whatever I was talking about, and it completely changed to something else, you know. So, to be honest, towards the end, I would see that she requested a box and I wouldn't bring her up because I wanted to stay on topic, and I knew that if I brought her up, it wouldn't stay on topic. And, you know, I didn't want to have that. Now, a couple other things, just to be clear, she unmodded herself, which was fine. She didn't tell me about it. I don't even know how I found out about it, but when I heard about it, I checked, and sure enough, she was. And then what I did was I blocked her from the Discord, because obviously, you know, somebody who's angry, with me and all that. They don't need to be in Discord, So, So somebody sent me a clip of when she was in Truth's Live a couple weeks ago, and she was referring to me as a narcissist, which I think is kind of crazy because if I know what I know about narcissists don't ever say when they're wrong, which I have absolutely done before. I do think some people use that term way too much. It's one of those buzzwords where when people hear it, it's like, and I think that's the effect she wanted from it. And Truth too. She did the same thing. She agreed with her, So, there's part of me that's very disappointed, obviously. And I didn't want to do a live on her, but, as I said in the video I made, now it's my turn to talk because she's been doing it now for a couple weeks, and, I've kept my mouth shut. And, so what we're going to listen to Shaun's live from yesterday when she was in a box. Now, I want to remind people, okay? I want to remind people that we all know the stuff that Shaun has done. I had a live where his sister had come in and his daughter, had reached out to me and messaged me regarding stuff. And we all know the stuff he's done, right? We know why he was removed from his household as a kid. And we know that based on his sister, his mom, and family members, okay? Is there a record of it anywhere? No, because he was a minor. And she knows what he did, but she chose to go in his box yesterday. We know what he's done with animals, with the kittens that he had. And if you remember correctly, after everything happened with those kittens, Tiff agreed that they could have been saved if Shaun had taken care of the cat. And then from what I heard yesterday, she told him that it wasn't his fault. We heard the story about what he did to another animal when he was like 12 or 13 with a teapot or something like that. That was a story where, from his family. And she knew that, but she still chose to go and do his live yesterday. We know how he treats women. We know how he talks to women and how he talks about women. And yet she went into his live yesterday. He was in her live the night before. Now, I don't know. People that are scammers and that are dirty ass people, I block them because I don't want them in my lives. But yet, she didn't have him blocked, and he went in there, So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you and let you listen to what she said. And when there's something that... yeah, exactly. She went in there and almost tried to give him credibility for his complaints. Now, she was part of awareness, because she was in all the awareness lives about him and about Jen. But it's like all of a sudden she doesn't want to be in the drama. And that's fine. You know what I mean? She doesn't want to be in the drama. That's cool. But to go into the person's live that is a scammer and has taken thousands of dollars from people, and to go in there and make nice with him and say you don't want to be part of the drama, doesn't work like that. Exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna open this up. I think she came in at about the 1 minute mark. So now I want you to remember, I have the screenshot of where Sean said to Tiff, will you come into my box on Favorited? And that was 2 nights ago. That was on Saturday night. And the next day she's in there. So now a lot of you guys were saying, you know, and as I said in the Discord yesterday, would you guys be willing to, you know, come in and tell me what she was talking about? And, you know, thank God there was somebody that uploaded it. So if there's any of the lies that I miss, if you'll put it in the chat, because from what I understand, everything she was saying, she lied so much about everything. So let me put this on. And as we're listening, I'm actually going to make myself something to eat because I haven't eaten yet today. Okay, she's almost up.
That sounds like,
shitting people. Like I say, there's enough bullshit as it is. In fact,
that sounds, hold on. As she has it.
You could tell going into his live too, he knew that Tiff was coming in. I've watched Sean enough to understand the way he talks, and this is the kind, caring Sean voice that he is using right now. And you can hear it. I mean, it's such bullshit. It's such a farce. Let's hear it.
Isn't it like Texas Tiff 1978 or some shit like that?
Yeah, like you don't know. You were just in her live. I don't know how long she was in there, but we're going to listen to the whole thing.
Hundreds of fucking people. Sorry, guys, I got to try to find this.
I mean, I don't know why she just didn't go in on her burner account.
No, I'll just...
Yeah, I was like, you can't have me blocked because how can I see it? I even went live for the first time ever. And I guess it wasn't the first time, probably like the second time on this app. I don't know. But I went live on my account to see if I could search you, to see if I could invite you.
Oh.
But it wouldn't, you wouldn't pop up. So
she was going to invite him in.
Stuff I had blocked you when you came in. And
she was going to invite him in, somebody who is... has done all that nasty shit to people. But she was going to invite him into her live. Got it.
Yeah, it's very weird. So just to let you know, I'm up here to take accountability and to apologize for my behavior. I mean, I still think you're kind of a crappy man. You know, that's my personal feelings, though.
I'm just a guy that just fucking calls people out, and a lot of people just don't like it. I'm blunt to the point. No filter, remember?
Well, that's why.
You know, I have an issue with the whole cat situation and stuff, and I'm entitled to that. You know, you're entitled to your opinions as well. I think
because I didn't bring Callie with me and Liana.
No, there's many issues I have with the cat thing, but you know, there's nothing you can do now. You don't have any cats in your care now.
There was nothing I could have done anyway. They all have medical issues that were nothing that the vet could have done. They don't make.
I'm just here
They don't
because-
make. They don't make a needle small enough to be able to help little itty bitty kittens out. The kittens are like this big, and their veins are like.
I mean, that's not percent true.
Your hair, you
I
take a
take
strand of
many-
your hair, and your hair is thicker than a kitten's
Yeah,
vein.
no,
So,
I take many to the emergency clinic right up around the corner. They let you sit in there and everything. I've sat there with heated inflatable bags and heated water bags and all kinds of stuff with
try to
like
beat them up.
not opened eyes kittens. So, but like I said, the reason why I'm here is like not to rear-end anyone, you know, not to stir up old wounds or anything. I stepped away from all of the awareness type, well, what I thought was awareness, because I joined it with the thought process that, yes, we're bringing awareness to people, you know, so they don't get, you know, potentially scammed. And the idea was to help those who needed help, you know, do things the right way. You know, as you remember, there was a time I offered to tutor you, you know.
So would that right way be, as she did, contacting all the truck stops to find him in Texas? Would that be the right way? Because I didn't do that. She did that. Oh, she blames me for that? Yeah, I had nothing to do with that. Not a thing. I didn't call a single place. And this is Tiff telling people how awareness is supposed to be done, which is wild.
I tried to help you, you know.
You did,
With
but
the
you also
DoorDash.
have to take into consideration you've done a lot of nasty shit towards me. So I didn't trust you.
Yes, I engaged in the bad behavior, and it got to a point where it just. I tried behind the scenes to talk to many people and say, look, you know, there's awareness, and then there's obsession. And
wait a
we
minute.
should not be crossing the line.
There's awareness, and then there's obsession. Okay. Who was the one making mugs and making tumblers with his likeness on it? That wasn't me. And as I said, who's calling truck stops? That wasn't me. And, you know, I went back because I wanted to make sure I reminded myself of certain things. And I think since beginning of October, maybe, I think I've streamed Sean maybe twice. Twice. Now, let's not forget, since I wasn't streaming him anymore, other people were streaming him. And who was one of the people that was streaming him? Tiff. Tiff was streaming him, along with a couple other people. So my question is, if she's trying to cover up her ass and trying to make herself look to be a better person than she actually is, she's failing. Because I stopped streaming Sean quite a while ago. Not only because he's boring as hell, but as I've said with Maggie and all that, and I've said this before, it comes to a point where what other information can you put out about somebody? Everybody knows about Sean. Everybody knows about Maggie. So why would I take the time to stream him every time he goes on when There's no other information except the same old that he's doing. And people in the know that. It's not like he's getting new people in his lives, unless, of course, it's people that we know on burner accounts that are going in there and pretending they're somebody else. And by that, I don't mean people from my lives. I mean people that say that they don't go over there and they do. So that right there, that comment pisses me off because I haven't been doing that for a long time. And did I go around and crow about it like, oh, I'm such a better person, I'm not doing this? No. But obviously Tiff needed to do that because there's that constant you go girl that she needs. Oh, you're so right, Tiff. You're so smart. Yeah, okay.
To obsession and bullying and harassment if we're in this for awareness.
Or going real life.
Right.
Because these people were like, you know, when Scammy Claus told Dan Bobby to continue doing what he's doing, that was her way of having somebody else do a bunch of nasty stuff to people.
And Shaun, you can absolutely say that because you know what? Tiff liked Dan Bobby too and liked what he did over there. And that was also like almost a year ago. And really, that's what you're going to keep saying? Hey, anybody that makes videos about you, Shaun, I'm 100% behind it.
It's a conversation that, you know, hopefully you can have one day with those people. I can't speak on behalf of other people. Well, I'm just saying, I'm not here to speak on behalf of other people, their actions, you know, and whatever else. I can only take accountability and take ownership for my wrongdoings. I can't take ownership and the accountability for others' wrongdoings. You know.
All right, I have a question for you. What stuff did you engage with on my case when you were? What did you?
I can give you the answer to that before she says anything, okay? And let's see how honest she is. Everything. She was there for everything with Shaun. Everything. Every step of the way. And she did above and beyond things.
I made the beginning. I did not make the meme of you with the binky coming out of his mouth. It looked like a rubber ducky, but it was a binky. That was not me. I don't know who made that. I did make a number of memes that I put on the cup and made into some stickers. And then I made the tumbler.
I wanted one of the tumblers, but I weren't going to pay for it.
This is what she's taking accountability for, making memes and coffee mugs.
Yeah,
well, I mean, people could order them in a bigger size if they wanted to. 20, it's just common size.
Put those back in. Put the emotional support tumblers back in.
No, I'm not going to do that because
I want one. That's this. I want a big one. And
it was done out of malice, and I don't want my business. I don't want my life. I don't want anything to do with things done out of malice. I don't.
Can you at least send me the template for it so I can have one made for me?
I mean, I could always, if you wanted one custom, I could make you one custom.
Of course.
I'm going to restock it in my store.
Of course you will, Tiff. Of course. So she's going to send Shaun a free tumbler now after everything we know about Shaun. Everything we know about Shaun, what he's done in his life. She's going to send him a tumbler.
I want the largest one they have.
Okay, but I can talk to you about that, later. I'm not here to promote my store.
Make sure that it's actual yellow and not orange.
Oh, it is. It was just the lighting.
Oh, okay. And I'm sure that there, you know, my supporters I have here would probably get one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not here to promote my store. I'm not.
Sure,
here to
you're not.
promote-
No, I know you're not.
here
I'm
to take the
just
accountability.
requesting you.
You're not, but you said that you made those out of anger and being malicious, and you're not going to be selling them. But now that you know people want to buy them, you'll sell them. Got it.
I
even put my own on there. I put my own, you know, Sean-ism on there, you know. Tiff, why don't you go to a jail and find another, you know, inmate? Like, you know, I poked fun of myself on there too. But I'm really trying to, I'm, as we know, like I've been through some shit and I am trying to heal properly.
We all know that. We all absolutely know that. Times 1,000. And you know, one of the things that I don't think she understands, and this is another thing that people brought up. Every time she trauma dumped, there were people in my life, and I never thought about this, and I never thought about it until somebody brought it up. Every time she opened up her mouth about her trauma, there were people in my lives listening that had gone through something similar, and they felt a certain way about it. And by that, I mean it affected them in a negative way. And she made comments regarding the live that I had, the one live, and she's saying that I was not thinking about people in my live because it may have triggered them. Yet every time she went into a box, she was like the horse trigger from that old TV show.
From that. And I saw that my mental health was not in a good place when I was in with that, with a particular, you know, group
of people, yeah.
And they really did not seem to care much about that. When I had...
And let me tell you what she's referring to, okay? And I referred to this already. One of the last texts she sent me was all about shit that she's going through, okay? And what she was going through at the time. Because if you remember correctly, people were starting to look at her in terms of what the relationship with her ex-husband, all the other stuff, okay? She sent me an email, a text message about that, and that was after she sent me the email and all that. And at that time, I was going through a lot of stuff too, with Florida Man doing stuff, you know, other people making videos about me all the time. And she texted me, and it was all about her. And from what I've been able to gather, and my opinion is she's pissed at me because I didn't support what she was going through. You know, I didn't reach out to her and say, oh, I'm so sorry for what you're going through, and oh, it's not fair and all that. This is the same person, though, who in that email made a comment that don't keep rehashing stuff that people say about you, because the more you go on lives and defend yourself, the more it looks like you're trying to hide something. And that's what I said to her, because, you know, she was making it sound like nobody came to her defense when all this shit was happening. And I made a comment regarding, it was something about the cat rescue, because somebody was saying that she doesn't really have a cat rescue and all that. I reached out to her and said, do you have a tax number for your cat organization? And I was going to make a video with the tax ID number and say, pretty much stop the bullshit. She has a real organization. And, you know, she went into this whole thing, and then I said, well, you know, I was going to help you out, but I'm going to go with what you said. And I'm not going to keep bringing stuff up, because if you keep defending something, it makes you look like you're hiding something. So I think she got pissed off. And another reason why I think that is because I got a clip of Truth's Live where she was again talking about me. And she made a comment about, oh, well, you know, people that, creators that when you message them, it's all about TikTok. But I know I can call Truth any time of the night or the day, and I can call her, and she'll talk to me about me. I heard Truth is in FM's Discord. We pegged that one too. That's not a surprise. That's not a surprise. She told me before everything was over that she blocked all those people over there. She said after that one live she had, she blocked all of them because she didn't want them in her live anymore. But lo and behold, again, I got screenshots. You know, Florida Man goes into her live all the time. But again, all of this stuff, I saw it coming after all this happened. Okay? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Learned that, you know, a particular person who I confided in and who I looked up to was talking shit about what I had gone through behind my back and like making fun of it.
If she's referring to me, I never made fun of it. I absolutely did call her a trauma dumper. Absolutely. Because guess what? That's exactly what she was doing. Absolutely. I never made fun of what she went through. Never. And if she said that somebody told her I would like to see a receipt of that. I will absolutely say I have called her a trauma dumper, as hundreds of others on this app have said. In fact, she texted me the day that she went to court a couple months back when it made the news and all that because the Cowboys kicker was on the jury. And I was in contact with her during the day there. And I, of course, gave her the high five and, oh, that's fantastic. And I have never made fun of what she went through. Never. But again, I absolutely have referred to her as a trauma dumper. 100%.
I actually know who that is, and I'm sorry that group's doing that towards you.
Yeah, I'm not here to name anybody. Yeah, I'm not here to name anybody. You know,
I'm here to name somebody. Texas Tiff, you're being called out. We all know who you're talking about. The only difference is I have the balls to say, yeah, we're talking about Texas Tiff.
We all know. We already know.
So, you know, I'm not sure why my name is being brought into things, you know, in such a negative manner when I haven't said anything about anyone. I literally just
Seriously, Tiff? And I'm sorry I keep pausing, but you referred to me as a narcissist. You made multiple videos about me and my platform without saying my name, but you don't understand why people keep bringing up your name. And when the fuck have I even said your name until now? I mean, in passing a couple times, maybe. But I'm trying to think. I don't think I've said anything about you in a negative light. You know, because I tried to keep all this off the app. Shaun said she knew exactly what her ex did, but she still got with him. I don't know about that. And that's something also, you know, maybe I'll go over that. I'll go over that.
Away quietly, you know, but
I have a
couple
question.
days.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. I do have a question because there's a video popping up that's been sent to me that I've seen. Are you talking to that guy that's got like all the teeth kind of missing on his face and he's got the sword?
Yes.
You know, I had concern about what you were saying to him. I don't know if it was something that was like pre-planned to kind of get him to, you know, say something or whatever.
I can speak on. I can speak on that because Truth already addressed it in her live. So that night, we have been watching him for a little bit. He was jokingly nicknamed, I think Truth called him Demon Daddy. And I'll even say Scammy was joking around too. Demon Daddy. Because he would just like stare at the camera.
Absolutely,
and,
I gave him that nickname.
Was being sucked out of your body.
He gave me the creeps.
It was really
probably
creepy.
Because he was under the influence of something and he was
obviously.
in that peak euphoria moment.
Yeah, Shaun, you don't know. No, he actually has some mental health concerns and he has a huge anger management problem. And as people found out later, he is on a directory, if you know what I mean. But what he's referring to, pivot, what he's referring to is when Tiff went in there and was flirting with him. Now, I was trying to think back. I do not think I was in that live when it happened. Or if I was not in there long. Because this is not the first time she's done that. Like she did to Shaun. Like she did to Shaun. Now, as I said, I haven't heard this, so let's hear what her explanation of that is. And if I can find it, I'll play part of the live when she was in Ty's box.
Where you just kind of like...
Obviously. Yeah, he was just kind of someone we stumbled upon. And we just kind of watched here and there. And he would like blow up and start yelling at like family members. There were people going in there, whether they were his family or not. They were going in there saying that they were his family. And there was no reference to his charges, to his history.
That doesn't even have anything to do with that.
If I can have my mods go ahead and remove people.
I'm not supporting Shaun. And I don't need to date anybody to be a happy person, but thank you. I just got my divorce finalized.
Yeah,
I'm really just trying to heal. So I'm not thirsty for anyone. Actually, I do have a TikTok crush I like to stare at, and he's local, and he just added me to that. But, you know, that's a whole other thing.
We won't say.
Whether or not I talk to him.
Please, oh my God, don't fucking say too much because they're gonna start fucking with him too.
You know, so with Ty, nobody was aware of his previous charges. You know, nobody was aware of who he actually was. And this has been proven because there was another person in TikTok as well that runs with Florida Man. And she had gone into his live, I guess, like a day or two after this incident happened. And she was actually trying to be, I believe, a helpful person, you know. She didn't do what I did, but, you know, she was trying to be a helpful person, and she was being...
And what did you do, Tiff? You going to say what you did?
...and drugged for the same thing, too, you know, saying that she was a P3DO sympathizer and whatnot. Oh, hey, no cow. So, there was a live done. I believe it was Scammy who hosted the live, and it was proven that, I went back to a group text that I still have.
Okay, so she's obviously skirting the issue, okay? The whole thing with her going into his live, she wasn't being called out because of his criminal record. She was being called out for her behavior. So let me check to see. I took a screenshot of somebody's page who had the videos of her talking to Ty. Let me see. I hope it uploaded on my iPad. Let me see. I think it has. Okay, so let me go to this person. No, that's not it. Give me 1 second, folks, so I can find the... Hold on. Or if anybody in there are... Okay, yes. Thank you, yes. I took a screenshot of your page because I knew you had them on there. I appreciate that. So let me pull those up, and I will let you hear what she's not admitting to. Okay? Call out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my tripod so you could see what she did. We've all seen some of the videos she makes of herself on TikTok for her page. They can be a little, a little revealing, which, is fine. If you want to do that, you go, girl. It's funny, though, because somebody brought it up in Discord yesterday, too. She used to tag me all the time in those videos, in those, thirsty videos. I was not at all interested in those. And then a lot of people in Discord said, oh my God, she tagged me too. But you're going to see what she did in Ty's live when she pulled her shirt down so he could see her tattoos a little more. Now, again, she's referring to the fact that, that he's a registered pedo and all that. That's not what Sean was referring to. So let's go here first.
Sir, I gave up my whole career for him, so I'm a true ride or die. But I feel like if the second time he got out too, and I was an officer, I gave up my whole career for him, so I'm a true ride or die. But I feel like if you and I started talking and we hit it off, I feel like you'd be there to protect me.
Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't? I protect my aunts here that are basically going through a rough time, and she's been stolen from and everything else, and I've been trying to hunt these people down.
What do you think about cats?
I got 16 of them.
You have 16? Oh, I have 15 in my care right now. I do a cat rescue.
I have 16 plus 4 more.
Yeah, here's Cow.
Oh, what a sweetie. Hi there, little one.
Domestic short hair Maine Coon.
Ooh, feisty little one then. Those Maine Coons.
Yeah, his father passed away a couple months ago, so.
He looks nice and calm.
He is very nice and calm. Tu la mama? You la mama?
This isn't the only video I'm going to show you.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
So seriously, would you try to get to know me to try to maybe go on a date since you're going to be on the road?
Well, I am planning on being on the road, but I have to get my stuff together because I just recently got my job and my
I'm a disabled vet. I'm paid 100%, every month. It's guaranteed. Plus, I shop on the base. I have base access. Have you ever been on a base?
No, I have not lived on the base before.
You could go tour the base. I'll give you a tour of the base over here. Me, the second time we got out.
So, she's saying that she's trying to disavow herself going in there, saying she didn't know that he was on the registry, which is accurate, okay? What she's not admitting to is she was effing flirting with the guy for shits and giggles.
And turkey's roasting. Oh, girls, you can fuck. Your mind, it's raining.
This is a screenshot. Oh, can we see your awesome ink? Ooh, can I see the back? Yeah, I'm going to take care of him. I don't think he is interested in me. He won't even follow me back and look at my... I can't see what that
Box,
says.
huh?
You want to go buy pee-pee?
You know what? I think I'm just gonna stick with Pete.
Pete, I like it.
I like you too.
You really want me to, Texas Tiff?
It's been a while. So I said,
You really want to speak, huh? Well, guys, should I let her? Nah, he tired. Shit. This is natural energy, guys. Come on now. All right. Let's hear it. I'll accept.
Now watch this.
Hola.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing okay. How about you, girl?
Not too bad. So see, I just got my throat done.
Oh, that's nice.
I have both sides of my neck and
Really?
Jesus.
Wow.
all over.
Oh, I know how that goes, you know. Gotta tie ourselves up somehow.
I'm a Sagittarius too. My birthday is December 11th. When's yours?
Second.
December 2nd. Ooh,
Yep.
look at that. We can celebrate our birthdays together.
Yeah, quite easily too. Especially during the birthday month, during the Christmas months.
So I know you said you're not ready, but what if we like cross paths, we hooked up, we went on, my artist does blindfold tattoos if you like to live on the edge for $100. Like this is one of them.
Ooh.
Yeah. And what if we were like alone and I looked at you and I said, choke me daddy, what would you do?
Oh, God. You know, that's one thing I do not like, about...
And I'm sorry for the triggering content here, folks. I find it very ironic that she would joke about something like that when how many times have we heard her trauma story about what happened to her and her ex-husband? But that's funny. Choke me, daddy. And, I remember after this live where Truth was streaming this, okay? And I remember going in either the next day or the day after saying, that wasn't right. Tiff shouldn't be doing that. That's not funny.
Choking is, I'm totally against that because of what I went through with my past relationship with that box, huh?
So that was that one. I don't know.
She would. All right, well, I'm going to hop down. You know how to message me.
Yes, I do.
So-
I'm on live, just chilling, vibing, But if you
Okay.
want it really seriously, I've just got to get things transitioned, though, there, sweetie. That's all I need to do.
All right.
I've been trying to hold up my end of the deal with my aunts here, and I got things to fix here before I take off.
I waited for someone to get out of prison for 8.5 years, so.
Well, I've been out for a long, long time, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm clean. I'm next.
Okay. Well, get your shit together. Tell me how I can help, okay?
All right, not a problem. I will let you know.
Okay. Bye.
All right, sweetie. Bye. Okay, all the way down.
So he's kind of thinking now
All
that,
right, not a problem.
that, you know, there's this woman that's kind of interested in him. People are saying, oh, she's so nice. I think she's falling in
All right,
love with
beggars,
you.
you're a moderator.
Let me check the Discord now because somebody just said they sent something. So let me see this.
Yeah, she is nice. How did I get on the registry? Because some stupid female decided to put me there. How about that? Lied about everything. All because she wanted fucking money. So she destroyed my fucking life. Because of all of this. When I was 17 years old. I was 17. She was 15. 15 and 14. All three of them were all in on it together. And planned on it. All right? I was at a college party with the...
Now, just so you know, this was after she was in a box, okay? This wasn't before. This was after. But this is what Ty is all about.
friend, and they thought I was cute, and I thought they didn't. I thought they were not. I thought they were evil. And everything, and... Well, behold, they make you my drink, and there was a secret indictment on my ass.
A secret
And on
indictment.
my 18th birthday, I got nailed. I got framed. But you people don't want to fucking listen about it. Women have to be so goddamn evil just when they want something. I should have never showed up at a college party. That's my mistake right there alone. So that was my goddamn mistake. Showing myself to a goddamn fucking college party. Because a fucking female only wanted fucking money, and I said no. Block party for Galen. Block party. Block party. Block party. Block party. Block party. Block. 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 Block.
Wow.
Block. Block. Pissing me off. Why does people have to ruin my mood? As much as I hate telling the fucking truth, someone needs to talk to you. Honestly, someone needs to talk to you, Mr. Charlotte. Someone needs to fucking put a screw loose to your head. Someone needs to screw your head on, mister.
Right. What happened was he pled guilty to the action. And he was in prison, and he's on a registry. So again, that was after the whole tiff situation. But I can tell you, prior to her going in there, we had discussions in Truths Live about how it seemed like he had some mental health issues. And we knew that there were people that were going in there and pretending to be like his brother, his quote unquote daughter, and all this. And Tiff went in there and did that. So she can lie and she could say what she wants to about, trying to spin this. That, oh, well, the whole story was about this guy being a pedo. And, but she said, but no, we didn't know about that until after. She's not admitting the fact that she went in there and did all that stuff that I just played for you. And that's fucked up. I mean, if she's going to take accountability like she says, then she needs to take accountability and say, yeah, I did go there under false pretenses. Because that's exactly what they did. What she did, I should say.
That had Truth and Scammy and I. And in that group text is where Truth typed, I dare you to say, choke me, daddy. So I was able to find that.
I'm going to go back.
I was able to find.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go back through my texts because I don't remember that. I do not remember that because I would have said something like, that's kind of gross considering what she's gone through. But before I absolutely say one way or another, I want to be safe and I'll check my texts.
The text and get the timestamp,
Yes,
and the date. And it was proven that myself, Truth, and the other person who had been in his live did that before Scam Slam and Scammy had like a live outing his charges, or I at least know Scam Slam had a live, and she did hers like on
it wasn't my
the
live
15th, and like all this happened like almost a week, like 5 days before she hosted her live outing his charges. So as soon as I was aware of his charges, I blocked him.
But you didn't explain why you went in there and was flirting with him. The charges had nothing to do with it at this point. That's not what he was calling you out for. Sean asked you about going into his lives and your behavior in there.
Blocked him immediately because I was like, oof. No, thank you. No,
Right.
no.
That makes sense.
And that's right.
Why
And that
it's
live,
like
that one, right. That one clip went around, and I started getting drug hard by Florida Man and his crew because of that one clip, and because I was friends with someone in particular. So it really put me in a bad place with my mental health. And I told the person I confided in, that I went to the hospital. Like, this stuff is serious. When it's pushed too far, this stuff is serious, and someone is going to get hurt. I had the wherewithal to see.
And it's not just.
Yes, this is, so I guess it's my fault because I didn't reach out to her and say, oh my God, are you okay? Are you this? Are you that? After this whole thing. Right, and she was flirting with him. She was flirting with him. Nobody said that when she was in the box in Ty's live that it was after his charges came to light. Nobody said that. She knew exactly what she was doing. Yep. She did the same thing to Sean. Yep, it is a victim mentality.
It's not just that one person, though. They
Right,
do
it's
this
not.
to multiple people. I don't have any of the charges that they claim that I have. People get
But
paid.
I'm not here to speak on that either. I'm not here to speak on any of that. I'm not here to speak on any of that. I'm just, again, here to take my accountability and own up to my behavior.
But you haven't taken any.
So that really was soul crushing to know that someone that you looked up to, someone that you trusted, someone who knew that your mental health had been shaken, didn't put forth the energy that they were putting forth for others, to defend and protect.
There it is. Now,
And then I
remember-
find out that they're talking shit about.
Remember, a week before this, I came in alive and said, I am not stepping up for anybody anymore. I said, I'm not doing it because whenever I stick up for somebody, it comes back to bite me in the ass. Right, exactly, and I'll read it. Meanwhile, she gets into Ty's box to mess with him, and he has some serious mental health problems. Exactly.
My actual experience, and now trying to downplay it as if they were there, saying I should have known something about my abuser. I should have known better. I should have known something.
I have to tell you, I am sorry for what I said to you or about you with that whole situation. I am sorry about that, and I was just really heated up, and I was just being an asshole. And I am sorry about it, truly. I am sorry about it. And I don't believe in anybody doing anything towards anybody like that at all. And, I know I apologized for it before, and I'm not looking for your forgiveness on it. I just want you to know that I am truly sorry.
I appreciate that. I mean, but for someone to say that someone should have known something without being there themselves in the situation.
Well, see, the thing about it is, you have criminals like that hide the facts, and they're very good at it.
I put it all in my book. Like, I put it all.
Is it? Oh, there's a push for her book, and you like how Sean is backpedaling now? I mean, I've talked about this stuff before. All the people that left FM and are, so, talking about him now and all that, and they've all gotten together and, here's Tiff going over to Sean, and now they're hate bonding. And Sean said some really horrible things about Tiff. And again, we know all the horrible things that Sean has done, and yet she still went over there.
In my book. And you would think if there was something I should have known, something I was lying about, you think someone within the situation, would speak up and say something. I've been very vocal about it.
So it's everybody's situation is different.
And there are people that I worked with at the time that still follow me on social media. So there are people who can speak if they want to. They can say their opinions. They can say whatever.
The problem is they're afraid to say something because the second they say something, they already know that they're going to start getting trolled.
No,
it's just they're not going to
put out there, and they'll do whatever they can, and
not everybody. I don't either, and I am slightly embarrassed that I even responded to Dan Bobby's idiotic claims and behavior last night.
You got Dan Bobby and you got Toxic Fabrication, and they work closely with Scammy Claus.
Okay, now, first of all, that's a pile of crap, Sean. Dan Bobby does his own thing. The only reason why I know Dan Bobby is because he trolls the shit out of you. That's it. I don't even know what his real name is. And Toxic Fabrication, he's come in to my live, or she, I think it's a he. He's come in a couple times. I've never been in contact with him. And Sean makes it sound like we all plan stuff behind the scenes against him. That's not true.
I'm not here again. This is not about Scammy Claus.
When they found out that I was
Tiff, please. It's not about Scammy Claus. Okay.
Your chat, they both came in and started running their face.
I'm not going to point fingers at Scammy Claus or anyone else. I will just speak on the people who actually did something. Toxic, as far as I know, has not, posted anything. He did act rude and disrespectful.
Toxic. Okay, let me explain. He's running that
I'm gonna go through this
for
part.
At best,
give it
on what
time,
he's
give it
doing.
time. You probably shouldn't have doxed your address. But I have a feeling. I have a feeling
honestly,
where
I
you're at.
don't give a fuck.
I have a feeling that where you're at is in a gated type community, so you should
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
okay anyway. And you got enough.
No,
You got
doesn't
enough
matter.
brothers and sisters that live in that community that will absolutely back you up.
That doesn't even matter either. Like, I'm not afraid of anything that they're doing. What I don't like, what I find horrific in their behavior and their choices, is that they are spreading a false narrative and misleading people who look up to them and trust them for information. That I care about.
The Scammy Clause is good for that. The Scammy Clause is really good for that. I know you.
I'm not putting. Yeah.
Tiff, stop. What false information, Tiff? Because guess what? All the information that was put out, you were right there the whole time, and not once did you say, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this true? Because everything that I've put out about him is information that we've heard from the family or information that we were able to call him out on lies because we listened to him and we catch him in his lies. So tell me again, Tiff, what false information?
You don't have to
Now,
say you're
on
you're not.
the other side,
Scammy Clause does that very thing. She utilizes.
You're entitled to your opinion. You are definitely entitled to your opinion. And as far as my opinion, I don't feel all opinions need to be aired out. We all have an asshole and we don't walk around with our cheeks spread showing everyone. So, I think there's a time and place for things.
I'm going to disagree with that because you know what, Tiff? You have been showing that you're an asshole for the past couple weeks. And you going into his live and saying that you're taking accountability, but yet you're not taking any accountability, shows.
So, did it...
Calm down,
Did
Tiffy.
it disappoint me? Did it break my heart to hear that someone was downplaying a DV situation? Yes. Did it break my heart to know that?
When did I downplay her DV situation? I'm still waiting to hear that.
Someone decided to burn my profile picture and, gifts I personally designed and sent to said person. Yeah, that's completely uncalled for. I didn't sit and take my time to.
It's called cleansing. It's called cleansing for the new year, Tiff. Read about it. Listen, if it's looping for you, come back in, okay? Because it seems like a lot of people, it's fine.
Create something for someone, to hold above their head or anything later. Like I told one person and showed one person what I had made and what I was sending, because I didn't do it for like a big applause or a big spotlight. I did because I felt like that person was generally my friend, and that's what you do for friends, I just, I don't know. I just couldn't. It was disgusting. It was immature. It was uncalled for. It only stirs the pot. I'm going
to tell you what, though, Tiff. Getting rid of that stuff, to me, was cleansing. It was wonderful. After seeing all the shit that you said about me in the videos, getting rid of that is how I get rid of people out of my life permanently. And to know that that stuff is no longer in my orbit, it's a good feeling.
I personally address it past what I just said? No, it doesn't warrant any kind of, spotlight either.
I have a question for you. What is your opinion about these groups? I'm just going to say there's groups because we're not going to name any specific names. Do you think it's okay for these groups to contact people's family members to try to destroy their life?
Now, I'm going to tell you what. I have never reached out to a family member of his. Never. And I would like him to show where I have, because they have reached out to me. I have never reached out to his family members. So there's that.
You are
I don't
aware
think
that
it's okay for...
They've done that. They've done that to me. They've done that.
I actually was not in the live, and I would dare anyone who's watching right now who wants to say that I was part of it, find a live where there was, let's just say it, Sean's mother. I was not in that live.
Wait, did she say she wasn't in that live? Did she say, I dare you to find proof that she was in the live? Okay. Okay, Tiff. I hope you're watching from a burner. I hope you're watching. Brandy, you get the absolute credit for this one. Oh, will ya look at that? Will ya look at that? Lo and behold, here is the live, okay, that had the people from Sean's family in there. And will you look at that? I feel like my suspicion I expressed the other day is correct. So, Tiff, do you want to say again that you were not in that live? You really want to? So remember, Tiff, during that live where they talked about Sean and his childhood and why he was no longer in that home, why mom, did what she felt like she needed to do, and you heard all the information. And you heard the information about what he did to another animal with a teapot. You were there, and you went into his life. Oh, wait a minute. So Tiff was in a box with Tank Lip, who's another scammer on this app. And it says here, someone just sent me this and told me that Texas flirting with Tank Lip in September. Wow. Well, I'm sure, we'll have to see if we can find that clip somewhere. That's interesting. But again, not to get thrown off here. She just said that she dares any to find where she was in that live. And lo and behold, and this will be posted on somebody's channel. But there it is, the are in the box of who they are. And it was definitely his family. And she says, I feel like my suspicion I expressed the other day is correct. Welcome in, everybody. So, okay. You dared, and Brandy found it. So, again, another lie. This is ridiculous. But let's keep listening to this bullshit.
Do I communicate
Wait, my mom was. Wait, hold on.
Your
My
mom was involved in some live. Your mom and your sister. I guess.
You were in there.
I wasn't.
I would
I
love
wasn't
to
in the
see that.
live.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. So I heard,
It's hearsay. They're saying, oh well, Sean's mom was in the live.
I don't know.
So nobody posted it. Nobody posted it.
Yeah. Oh, wait,
I haven't looked for it.
Right. We didn't post it. I don't think we posted it, right? I don't think it was posted because of the... Oh, no, we did not post it. I think because Luann's kids were in a box, if I remember correctly. Is that right? Because I think in that same live, Luann's kids came up. Yep. Okay. Okay. Got it.
Because I haven't seen it either, and I'm sure that my group here, my mods would.
Do I communicate with? I do communicate with a person that does. I can't speak on how they feel about you or whatever, but I communicate with that person because I think that she is a nice human being and a great mother, and I don't communicate with said person to sit and just talk about you.
Oh, the video.
And I really haven't
talking to my mom on the phone. Yeah, I've seen that video. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't even seen the video. I wasn't in the live.
My sister kind of took things out of context on that one. And then my mom.
No, I wasn't even in the live. And I dare.
So.
I dare someone to pull up proof that I was, because I was not in that live. I wasn't in that live because of what they were doing. I missed the live. I don't remember what I was doing. So it's not like me trying to be holier than thou, like I can't be in there. No, I probably would have been in the live, but for whatever reason, I was not in the live.
Sure, Jan.
Did you see the thing where my daughter fucking turned around and told people that I fucking threw her mother down the stairs when she was pregnant?
I was not in that live either.
That was the same live, Tiff, and yes, you were there.
I didn't catch every single live.
That's why I don't talk to Alyssa anymore.
With it or whatever should be aired on the app. And that's your right to do. I don't think that issue should be spoken about on an app.
Oh, it does when it's a lie. It does. She came onto the app. And lied about it.
Why is there a need for justification with people you don't even know? That's the point I got to, and that's why I'm embarrassed that I entertained responding and doing anything towards the stupid things that Bobby put out.
You can keep talking.
Yes.
I'm responding to Death Wish here. Yeah, families.
No, that's why I'm embarrassed with my behavior for responding to what Bobby put out there, because it doesn't need any justification or clarification. If people are going to believe it, then that's on them. Grown people who really actually respect someone and respect their opinion, they try to seek, the truth, right? If you see something reported that someone's doing and it seems completely out of character for that person, why don't you go talk to that person privately? And find out if maybe there's something else going on, because I've seen the comments left on those videos, and please, I said it in a video I posted. If you have unfollowed me because of some false narrative, that you just chose to believe without speaking to me, then just keep unfollowing me. Don't try to refollow me, because I don't need that.
To be honest, Tiff, I don't think you have to worry about telling people. I don't think you do.
You know, I am a strong enough person, and I'm trying to build my mental health up better to where I was before what happened to me. And with that, like, I know if I am someone's, you know, if I see someone as a friend, if I see someone as someone that, you know, I respect, and I see something being put out there that seems out of their character, I'm going to first be more concerned about why my friend or the person I'm looking up to is acting out of character, you know, and I'm going to message them and be like, hey, everything okay? I just saw this. Like, what's going on? You know, I'm not going to see something and then be like, oh my God, I'm unfollowing her. Yeah. This person says she's crazy, so she must be crazy.
Yeah, I've learned a very valuable lesson is to not go based off of hearsay. You know, if you don't have actual proof, there's been many times where people are like, oh, I have proof that you did this, or I have proof that somebody said this, and they never show it.
Right.
It's just their way.
And as people saw, right, and as people saw just today, I'm clearly not sitting with Sean or sitting here cozying up to Sean.
As she's sitting with Sean. And as he's in her live the night before, inviting her to go over to Favorited, and she does. And he's not blocked on her account either.
At all. And he had to unblock me for me to come in today to talk.
I literally just unblocked you before you came into the box.
Right. So for this false narrative of Tiff has found a new felon. Well, how have I found a new felon? Just because you saw Sean come into my live and type some stuff, and
that's what they do.
You know, I told him I would come into his live if he was live today. You know, oh my gosh, you really
I'm sorry, Tiff, but guess what? We pegged that a while ago that this would happen. We pegged this a while ago. This is not a surprise. This is not a surprise at all. And based on the video that Dan Bobby made, my guess is he saw that and he made the video on it because he knew what was about to happen. Please check Discord. Okay, hold on. Oh. Huh. Tiff was in another scammer's live. Here, I'll show this picture. I want to make sure that there's nothing. No. Okay, here you go. We all know who that is. That's another one that Truth used to follow all the time. I agree with that message. It is totally, you know, it's optional to choose kindness. I don't really understand that. Oh, and she was a mod for him. What? Wow. Had I known this back on October 16th, I would have booted her out. I didn't know about this. Oh, Jesus. A shout out to the person who sent this. Thank you. Thank you. God, this just keeps getting better. This just keeps getting better. So far, flirting with Sean, flirting with Ty, in Tank Lip's box, and he is a big old beggar on this app. And then he was in that other guy's. Wow. Hey, listen, I'm not telling anybody to block Tiff or anything. I said it before with the whole thing with Truth. I don't care what you guys do. I don't care whose lives you go in. Because, there were times where Truth and I were definitely up and it was a good time. And there were times when it was nice having Tiff around. So don't just listen to everything and then you make a decision. Okay?
Just outed me. Oh my gosh, they know about us now, Shaun. What? And I love how people are so quick, and I've seen all of you who commented. I love how you guys are so quick to not ask for proof of a claim from people that you sit with.
You proved it to us.
But you want proof from everyone else.
You proved it to us, Tiff, because look where you are. You proved it to us. Shaun was in your live. He invited you to go to Favorited, and you did it. So what proof do we need? You proved it.
Of the truth that they try to come out with, or what everyone else is saying.
The fake truth, the fake news.
Right, because I had to do it in 2 parts for my live because it was, too long to post in one video. But I posted part 1 and part 2 where I was responding to you and to them on voice. So they could hear I'm not talking shit about anybody. I'm standing my ground, and I'm just trying to create a positive healing environment, and I'm just trying to return to the things that I did before the abuse.
Yes,
to reclaim my life. It wasn't like Shaun and I were having just like this, hey, it's been a while, let's, catch up. No, he asked me if I'd come into his box to have a talk. That was it. I am not a person that blocks a lot of people. I never have been, because it takes a second for that same asshole
I agree,
to create
Minnie.
a new account and come
I
right
agree,
back
Minnie.
in.
I agree,
back
Minnie.
in.
There's something where she is looking for attention, props from guys. And yeah, I just said it. Validation. Yep.
And they will, and that's fine. And I'm going to try to lead by example of how to properly just live your life.
Oh my God.
With people coming at you. Because honestly, I have very little respect for someone who's going to talk big and bad about people and do things that they're complaining about the other person doing. The hypocrisy.
The thing about it is, half the things that they're saying aren't even fucking true.
They're not true.
They say so much stuff, and what it is, it's a rumor that's being.
So wait, so Tiff just said that the stuff that is being said about Shaun is not true. Did you hear that? Listen.
Who talk big and bad about people, and that they're complaining about the other person doing. The hypocrisy.
The thing about it is, that they're saying aren't even fucking true.
They're not
they
true.
Say so much stuff, and what it is, it's a rumor that's being spread over the internet over an app, and therefore. I believe you because I've been following you for a while, and you've always told the truth. Same thing with Scammy Claus. Scammy Claus does the same thing.
The only thing I'm going to say,
Dean does the same thing.
I'm not talking about. I'm just
going through. On my side, not on your side. This is strictly stuff that's happening.
What I will say,
I was also too, and got on my case. followed and believed.
While I was making my decision, on whether I was going to walk away or not, I sat there and I thought about a lot of things. And I thought about how someone I looked up to and trusted, talked about court papers, legal documents, right? But we never saw them. But we didn't see them, and nobody ever asked to see them.
And they know they don't. People will sit there and say, "Oh, well, I have proof." Well, let's see it. I don't know how many times there's been multiple hundreds of people.
That was never said about these papers, right? That was never said about these papers.
What is she talking about?
Now, during that time, you were doing some dirty shit that you shouldn't have done, involving an address.
I never disclosed that address. Other people disclosed that address.
Yeah, this is where Sean claims he never doxed me, even though he had a sticky note. I believe it was like a lime green that had my information on it. He read off of it and doxed all my information the day before Easter. And then once he realized he fucked up, the same day, he called my police. He called my police and said that I was fraudulently using his social security number for fraud. But he didn't give that information out, right? He didn't do it.
I'm telling you, I did not disclose. I did not disclose that address. I read it in the chat, and I'm like, that address seems familiar to me.
All I can go on is what I witnessed,
I actually don't have anybody's address. All those mushrooms I mailed out, I've actually used when I was in Falfurrias. I still had them, and we couldn't get the wood going. We only had very little lighter fluid, so we put the lighter fluid in there, and I crumpled them up the papers and used that as to help him start his barbecue grill. So
I hope you understand that that's wrong to do. That is going too far.
I didn't disclose the information.
During that time, it's still wrong to even say you're going to.
Tiff, you know what? And that's again where you're a weak-kneed bitch, because you were there when he doxed my information. You know damn well he doxed it, but you're not going to sit there and do what's right and say, Sean, you did dox her information. She was live, and you put all of her information out. You're not going to say that, though, right? But shit, you went ballistic when you had your address posted on your website for your store. And was it Sean? I think it was Sean who showed it during one of his lives. And she was like, oh, well, my granddaughter comes over here and this and that. Really? Really?
I suggest you're going to. Whether you did or you didn't.
It was for her to leave me the fuck alone. And she didn't.
Well, whether you did or you didn't, that all never should have happened.
I did not give out her address. I didn't give out her address. Somebody else did.
So, but what I will say is that as a friend who has a friend who's concerned about, dangerous situations, yes, I'm going to try to find the fucker that's making my friend concerned, So right. Yes, I did pay attention to the scenery, and yes, I did use it was literally the maps. I posted a video showing how I did it. Because
when I was at that.
Hold on a minute. So she's saying now that she did what she did for my safety? What? So, and let me make sure I'm and clear up if I'm reading this wrong. Is she saying she did what she did to find where he was in a truck stop in Texas? She did it for me, for my safety? Did it for me, for my safety? Did it for me, for my safety? He did it for me, for my safety? Is that... He doxed me in March. He doxed me in March or April. What was he doing that was personally threatening me when he was in Texas? The truck stop stuff was all about her. She said she was going to figure out where he was, and she found like the picture with a tree in the background, and then she decided to go and look for that. And then she sent me pictures. Ooh, I found where he is. Ooh, I'm going to call the truck stops and see if he's there or not.
Gas station there and truck stop.
You held up the cup. You held up a cup. Well,
Yeah,
you
but how many
realize
of the
you held up
cups
a
are in
cup or not?
Texas?
Yeah, so I had to look for the gas stations, and then I looked at Google Earth, and I found
Right,
the same little bush tree right in the parking lot of a gas station that matched the gas station cup. It was that easy.
Well,
So people, internet
You
safety,
doing
pay
that?
attention
You
to your
doing that?
surroundings.
you doing that, putting my life in jeopardy, and you know.
And I apologize for that. You know, now,
that
was I
changed the
doing it
fact
for
that I'm
your
no
life
longer-
in danger?
I was no longer allowed to go back to that truck stop because of that. You know that, right?
Now,
Because
was I
hundreds
doing
of calls.
it?
Hundreds of calls.
Right. Was I doing it?
Hundreds of calls? Bullshit. Bullshit. These two are made for each other. The lies are just ridiculous.
For malice intentions? No. I was doing it to try to help a friend be able to take care of documents.
The whole court thing. Look, she said that.
The documents? What am I going to do, Tiff? Am I going to serve him in a parking lot? Are you serious? No. You did it because you wanted to find where he was. He didn't even have a place to live. He didn't have a mailbox. He didn't have anywhere. What was finding him in a parking lot having to do with me? And Sean, I'm not even going to comment on all the court stuff because I've discussed what happened with that stuff months ago. Months ago. And I'm not talking about it because I know you're dying to know what happened with it. So good luck with that.
That I had a warrant for my arrest. Look, I've dealt with a law enforcement. I've actually been to
Which
court.
is another thing, right? And that's another thing too, that people just, it was never asked to see the proof. Nobody ever asked to see the proof of any claims. Whether the claims are true or not, I can't say because there was never anything shown, which is odd to me
She said something along the
because
lines of that she talked to a detective. Well, if a detective is involved, the detective, his job or her job is to investigate, which means that's both sides.
No, that's not
just
true.
her side.
Sorry, Sean. No, it's not because I was the one who made the report. They're not going to contact you. What happens is they investigate the claim that I made. And then if they find sufficient evidence, then they forward it on to a court, to a judge, to see if they'll sign off on the warrant for it. And obviously the attorneys for the state would have to decide whether or not to do it. Yeah, she's saying I was lying. Now, if you guys remember correctly, I showed you guys all the text messages from the detective that was doing it. I showed the updates on it. And when the judge denied a warrant, which took about 4 or 5 months, I talked about it. So again, tell the fucking truth, you two.
Also my side.
true.
I actually I
thing
actually
is that-
contacted. She said something along the lines of there was a detective in her town. So I actually contacted the closest town to her because her town didn't have that kind of whatever. It was another. It's a kind of like a small towns. They shared the same courthouse and sheriff's department.
That's wrong, Sean. Sorry about that. There are detectives in every single police department. So we didn't have a detective?
Within that county and another county next to them, they all share the same sheriff's department courthouse.
What?
I contacted the courthouse and tried to get a hold of the detective, and then I contacted the police department saying, hey, look, somebody's sitting there saying that I'm under investigation. I'd like to talk to the detective. And they sat there and told me that her address wasn't her address, and that address didn't exist. So how am I giving out somebody's personal information or address if it doesn't exist from the police department when I called them and asked?
Sure, Sean.
Gave them her name.
I don't know about all that.
She said that I'm under investigation. I'd like to talk to the detective that's taking over this
Sean.
case, and left messages for the detective, and the detective never called me. So it was just
I don't know about any.
I know I haven't watched all of Sean's lives, but I guarantee you, if he had done all that, he would have crowed about it in his lives. Now, I don't ever remember him talking about it. I mean, I could have missed it because I really haven't watched a lot of his lives, but I don't remember it. But that would be wrong, Sean. Sorry, because remember, you have contacted my police before. So you knew exactly what my address was because you gave it to them.
Of that, but what I'm trying to say though is that these groups, they demand proof from other people while not showing proof of their own.
Really?
They show proof of little things,
really,
but not the big things, But while the claim was made,
what they're doing is they'll have proof of something, and if they show enough proof of little things, people are going to believe when they say, "Oh, I have proof of this big thing."
Yeah.
And that's just they're playing them.
So with Florida Man. Yeah, it's manipulation. Clearly, for whatever reason, I don't know. People deal with things around them in different ways, but this is not the right way to deal with things. I do feel, the particular person went out of their way to make sure that everybody sees the warrant and the documentation on another person, right? But has not shown, but then again, it was never asked for, and I don't.
Is she saying I never showed a warrant? I never showed a warrant because Sean never got a warrant. The judge declined it, which I said months ago. So what do you want me to show, Tiff? Does she realize, so far in this live, I don't know how much longer she's in there, how stupid she looks? I mean, seriously. My God.
Need to see anything because it really didn't involve me. I will stand on saying to anybody that it is wrong to even put someone in some kind of fearful state and say that for this amount of money or for this or for that, or just because I don't like you, I'm going to give this dangerous person your address. That's wrong. It's wrong. You can't make a right situation out of two wrong situations. You just can't. At some point, someone just has to stop and just ignore the other person. Quit giving other people material, and they will find material and content out of the most tiniest little thing. They will find something, and that's fine. Let them do that. At the end of the day, everyone knows their own truth. Everyone knows their own self-worth and self-value.
Obviously, Tiff, you don't know what the truth is because you've lied this entire time. So if you think you know your own truth and we're showing you that you've lied, does that mean you have no truth?
Stop letting someone else make you feel otherwise. And that's for everybody. That is for everybody. And it is okay for all of you listening. It is okay to look at someone who is spoon feeding you what you think is factual information and question it. It is completely
I apologize.
okay.
I have to take a
question
screenshot real quick.
Okay.
Because her son's in here right now. And I need to make sure that that's why I'm just taking screenshots of it.
Like I will say, as far as people's relationships, you know right from wrong. Other adults should know right from wrong, you know? And consequences come from good decisions and bad decisions, you know? And you have to be able to own up to all of it at the end of the day. Just like I know. Instead, at that time, I will tell you honestly, you know, with everything I had gone through, and I'm still isolating, you know, I'm not looking for a man. I don't even want a man to look at me, let alone touch me.
You're
You
welcome,
have got to
Wayne.
be out of your ever-loving mind. You know, am I sarcastic? Yes. Fucking yes, I am. You know, it's how I cope with things. Dark humor and sarcasm. I'm trying to learn better ways, you know, with my therapist, my psychiatrist. Not trauma dumping, you know. I'm just saying that at that time in my life when I was deep in the BS, as the comment stated, I was in a place where I just wanted companionship. You know, I just wanted to feel like I had friends, you know, people I could talk to that were not just going to knock on my door, you know, like friends at a distance, I guess.
Well, just
that's
some
all.
people claim to be friends that aren't friends. Friends, yeah.
Friends, my list. Just to be able to talk about me in a bad way. When I'm not there.
They're not friends if they don't stick up for you.
Right. And also, I don't need anyone to really stick up for me, but at least have the balls to tell me, you know, when someone is being fake. Have the balls, because I will tell you, there's one person on the app that I can trust, you know. I mean, there's several. I've had friends on the app that I've actually known in real life for years, but you know, it takes a real person to say, hey, this is what's going on, you know. And then I did try to talk to another person. I tried to express my frustration and my feelings, and it was just kind of a non-issue, you know.
Hey, Tiff, I have a question for you. When all this shit was happening with Thomas threatening me and with Sean doxing me and with FM going after me and putting lies, did you once text me to find out if I was okay? I'll need to go back because I don't really remember that. She may have once. Not recently. And by recently, I mean before she stopped coming to my lives at the beginning of December.
For that person. And that told me in itself everything I needed to know. And I just quietly walked away. So
Quietly?
all I ask is that if somebody
quietly
feels I
walked
did
away.
them wrong, please come to me and tell me. And I will own accountability for what I've done wrong to you. It won't fix anything, and I understand that. I am working on myself.
Some things that were said are just not fixable because the damage is already done.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly.
And I will forever
You know,
feel, like a
the
shitty
people
person.
that you talked about, the people that you talked about are still suffering the consequences for what you said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just one of those things that you have to be cautious and careful what you say about people. If it's not facts, it's not facts. You don't like somebody,
agree.
don't talk about that person. You fucked their life
agree.
up. You fucked their life. You fucked my life up pretty good, Tiffany. You know that, right? Like, I had to find new locations and to try to be in a safe environment to where I weren't going to get in trouble. In Texas, if you're on a piece of property without permission, you go to jail. There is no like you have to leave.
Yeah.
You go to jail. And
So did she
Can we also agree, though, in all fairness, I also try to stop you from making that stupid choice
I
to
made
drive
that choice.
all over the world?
All over the country, you mean? I made the choice.
I was 100% correct on what I told you was up with the
Well,
tank situation.
I got offered places to live. I was living in a fucking camper and sleeping in my car.
Yeah,
Getting offered a place to
Those
live.
were all trolls.
Yeah,
They were all trolls.
Yeah. And then I said, you know what? Fuck it. I says I'm down in Falfordius, and I'm just gonna try to get a place here. And then people started outing where I was at, and the dude that was the manager there, the manager guy that was there actually moved his management to a different store because of that, because he was in fear that I would go and talk to him. I did go and talk to him.
What?
By the way, I did talk to him about that whole situation.
That's a new one.
I don't think the guy realized that I'm not.
So wait, did he just say the guy moved his management firm for Sean? What? Okay.
What people were portraying me as I'm taking somebody to the Social Security
I will
office.
I will tell you what I said when I called, was that I was just looking for my brother.
Oh.
Yeah.
I never heard that one. I never heard that she called his apartment place. Did she, I never heard her say anything about that. Did she ever say anything in the live? I never heard that. That's new to me.
Who might possibly, just be lost. Yeah. I didn't say you were like this crazy guy, and you committed a crime.
There's a bunch of people that called right after or during when you called.
I gave a description
that was
of
saying
you.
that I was a criminal
okay.
and I was wanted by the law, and all of a sudden I started having law enforcement talking.
Anyone and everyone who called and said anything like that, my only question is, did you see proof that he was wanted by the law?
No, they don't, because I wasn't wanted.
Oh.
I'm still not wanted,
Tiff, I was very upfront about the warrant. I never said there was a warrant out. I said the police officer was trying to get a warrant and it was on the judge's desk. And then it got sent back and it got changed up a little and it went back to a judge.
These are people that are, still now contacting the housing where I'm at to try to get me kicked out. They're trying to get Luann to lose her job. Luann and I are just friends.
It all happened
and
after
her
the
kids
storm.
decided to be assholes to her and gave out my information to Dan Bobby, and he
I can
posted
tell
it.
you that kids have reason to believe otherwise, but I'm not there.
The kids have
I'm
no
not
reason
there.
to believe anything. They're being told something,
I'm
and
not
they gave
there.
out my personal information, and they basically told me exactly what kind of people that they are. And, you know, they're going to keep doing what they're going to do. And I'm going to say,
I'm
like I
not
said
there.
before.
All I know is, again, you're an adult. Luann's an adult. You both should
She's
know
not allowed
right
to have friends,
from wrong.
so she's not allowed to have friends.
Well, okay. So my personal opinion, it's going to be an unpopular opinion in here. I know, but I'm just expressing my personal opinion. If you're friends with a married woman and it's causing grief within her family structure, as a friend, I personally feel you should say, Luann, I don't want to cause you any more stress.
Well, the thing about it is,
I feel that would be the respectful thing.
The respectful thing would be for her kids to actually look me up and figure out, you know, the crimes that I've committed in my life instead of look, stop telling me to let her talk. She'll talk here in a minute. Just give it a minute, okay? We're having basically what happened.
Go through this.
And they ran Luann's kids or act. The fuck does that matter? If I'm friends with Luann, I'm friends with Luann, and I'm not going to have people tell me.
I'm not here to speak on that. I'm here to speak on me, pretty much.
Who I can be friends with and not
From your family, and it was stated that what you supposedly did or what you did, I wasn't there. I don't know. I haven't seen paperwork.
I didn't fucking do anything. That's the fucking problem.
What was reported is that you did it under the age of 18. Therefore, you would not actually be on a SO registry.
Okay. So I think I know what they're talking about. I think I know what they're talking about. Doesn't make me a fucking pedo, by the way. Okay. There was a girl that lived upstairs from me, and we were at that exploitation mode. I show you mine, you show me yours kind of deal. And we got caught, and we both got our asses beat for.
Now that's a news story. That's a news story. Huh.
With that, by both of our parents. I got beat from across the fucking room. She got beat from across the fucking room. Both of us was fucking crying because we was getting our ass beat so much because we did that exploitation with each other.
Exploitation.
That's the incident that my sister is fucking talking about.
Well, so what's being reported is that whatever happened, you were underage. You were not quite 18 yet.
She was the same
that
age.
It was,
we were the same.
And it was handled between.
Age. We were the same
between the families.
And
it was never taken to the law, and that's why there's no record of it. That's what they're going with. I wasn't there.
No, sorry, Tiff. You were there. You were in the live. Obviously, you weren't there in person, but you were in the live. And no, that's not what was said. He was much younger than 18. And it was with two different kids. And that's why his mom gave him up. And you know that story. You know that whole story because you were here.
Same age. We are the same age.
I wasn't there. I haven't seen documentation. And there's a whole other person involved that we haven't heard from. So I don't know. My advice to people is don't
you're talking
be
about
so...
You're talking about the girl that we did that exploitation with each other.
Whoever the other person was. Yeah, there's a whole other angle.
Good luck with that because she's no longer alive. So she was in a horrific car accident at 18.
I'm so sorry to hear that. But my advice to people is don't be so quick to just hear something and run with it. Because I guarantee you there's been times when you've been so mad at somebody that you might have just said something, just, add a little bit, just out of spite, be like, I'm going to teach this fucking person.
According to the family, he's not on the registry because he's under 18. And by under 18, quite a ways under 18 when it happened. And it wasn't according to the family, it was not as he is describing it.
That's
not
Paula
anyone.
all day long. That's me all day
I'm
long.
not speaking on Paula or anyone. I'm just saying
I know
in general.
you're not, but I am.
There is no perfect person out there that has never done something out of spite and malice and being on the internet. It's so easy to do that too, because people think it's just going to sit right here. I'm going to say this about someone, and
you post something about somebody like that, it's there for life on the internet.
Yeah,
for life.
It is.
So they essentially put a target on my back, saying I'm all that. I'm like the worst things that anybody could ever be.
Now, I do think that you jump and assume. I think you jump and assume that somebody. I will tell you, I've heard you get really upset when being called a predator.
I'm not a fucking predator. Yeah, and I will stick up for it.
A predator is not
I'm not
sexual
a fucking predator.
in nature.
Doesn't matter. They call
I'm
me
just telling you because
try to call me a predator and for the sub.
I'm just saying that there's been a couple situations that I have witnessed myself where someone has made a statement and you've jumped right to the I'm not a pedophile, I'm not this, and they were not actually referring but they were not referring to you as either of those, right?
Well,
they were referring to your predatory behavior.
He come right out and said it, and then changed it from to pedophile to predator. And that's just how he is. He can't keep his fucking dogs in the house. And he had one of his dogs, as a matter of fact, just the other day.
A dog?
Running